can try and win championships, and that's what it's all about. When you look from the outside and you watch this team, I know we're going to have a real good, solid hockey team this year.
Hey, welcome back to Fireside Rangers. I'm your host, Anthony Romardo, joined by my co-host, Eric Wilson. Today, we are going to be discussing Vitali Kravtsov and his very disappointing performances to begin the 2022-23 season. The guy has been getting injured left and right. He's only played 7 total minutes of ice time through 4 games. It's been a really shaky start to the year for Vitali Kravtsov, so we want to go ahead and discuss whether or not the Rangers made a mistake in re-signing Kravtsov this offseason and placing him in the lines this year. So before we dive right into that, Eric, how are you doing today?
Doing good. I might not sound good right now. I might not look good right now, but I feel good.
That's good. That's always good to hear. If Eric feels good, I feel good. If we feel good, I'm sure you all feel good. And, of course, we do feel good because the Rangers won last night. They got a huge overtime win over the Flyers. Igor Shesterkin got a shutout. Chris Kreider gave the Rangers the win in overtime with a goal. Great performance there. Breakaway goal from Chris Kreider. So we're happy. We're feeling good. But we're not happy about Vitali Kravtsov and the way that he's been playing. So let's go ahead and dive into that. But when you're taking a look at what Vitali Kravtsov has done this year, what has he done, Eric?
Got injured.
That's about it. He's done pretty much nothing other than get injured. And it's very disappointing. This is a player that, made a lot of noise in the summer. Seemed like he was in for a breakout year. We were really excited to see him hit the ice in the regular season with the Rangers. But since that has begun, he has not done a whole lot. And the Rangers announced yesterday that he has suffered his 3rd injury in just 4 games, and he is likely out for roughly a week. Eric, what is your reaction to that news?
It's just kind of annoying, throughout the off season and through training camp and preseason. He looks really good. And, I was never a huge fan of Kravtsov, but he kind of started to change my mind for a little bit. And I was really excited to see him make a case for why he should be on the team. We eventually re-signed him. And now it's kind of just like, every time he's on the ice, I'm just, all right, he's going to get hurt. We'll see you next week, It's frustrating, basically.
Yeah, it is really frustrating, and it's particularly annoying because right now the New York Rangers are also down another very important player in Filip Chytil. And Filip Chytil is skating on his own, but he is going to miss his 5th straight game, and we'll see when he returns, hopefully soon. But Vitali Kravtsov is roughly out a week, which is obviously a big loss, considering the fact that the Rangers are missing talent. He's not even on the ice for any of the season so far. When we talk about the Rangers re-signing him this offseason, it did sign him to a contract of $875,000. So his cap hit, that's it, $875,000. It's not a huge deal, but Eric, I wonder if you have any thoughts on whether or not that money could have been better spent elsewhere.
Yeah, that was pretty much what I was going to say. Like, it doesn't look like a lot of money, just 1 year, less than $1 million. But you look back at all the problems we had this offseason with re-signing other players, such as like Georgiev, had we put that $875 maybe towards him, maybe we could have re-signed him rather than signing Halak, who's also been disappointing this season. And then, guys like Vetrano, Kopp, we probably would never have signed him, but just money in the pocket is always good to have. What happens when the trade deadline comes around and we're trying to clear space for a guy like Patrick Kane? That's like pretty much close to $1 million right there that is going to be stuck on the IR rather than going towards an actual player who will play.
Yeah, and that's definitely valid. And again, Kravtsov has only been able to play in 1 game without suffering an injury in the season opener. He played 88 seconds before falling to the boards and suffering an injury, missing the next 4 games. So when you're talking about the $875,000, no, it's not a lot of money. But when you're paying it to somebody who just cannot stay on the ice due to constant string of injuries, you are talking about it being probably a waste of money, and it could have probably been better spent elsewhere. There's definitely other guys that the Rangers were looking at this offseason that they couldn't sign due to not a lot of cap space. This extra close to $1 million could have helped them out. But here's Gerard Gallant, a little quote on Vitali Kravtsov, quote, "You got to play the game hard. You got to play the game aggressive, but he probably put himself in a bad situation the other night. I want him going and being first on pucks. We talked about it. Not be a little smarter, but be a little safer than that. It's too bad because he's played okay." End quote. He's played okay, I guess, according to Gerard Gallant, but he does have 0 points. He has 4 points in 24 NHL games in his career. All 4 of his points came during the 2020 to 2021 campaign. So historically, looking at his career, not too impressive. But what are your thoughts on that quote from Gerard Gallant and from the performances that we've seen out of Kravtsov?
I agree with most of what Gallant said, but the part where he's like, it's too bad because he played okay. I think that's just like social media propaganda. Him just trying to support his injured player. He's only played for like a total of 7 minutes throughout the first 10 or 11 games of the season. I don't think we have enough time to really judge his play. Like you said, it only took him like a couple of seconds to get injured the first time. Then he got injured again and then again. So it's like, no, I don't think that he's played okay. I think he's gone out there, not put up any points, and just causing us to have to call up these lesser players to replace him. So it's like, no, I don't think he played okay.
Yeah, I don't think he's played okay either. And I will say Gerard Gallant is sharing our frustration. This quote I really love. Every time he gets on the ice, he gets hurt. Gallant shrugged. It's a shame. End quote. Yeah, it absolutely is. Gallant shrugging. That's how we feel. It's a shame, man. I want to see the guy play. I want to see the guy be successful. I think that when you take a look at what he did in the summer, very impressive. It seemed like he was going to have a huge breakout year, especially with the way that the Rangers teammates that he has were talking about him, the way that the Rangers reporters were talking about him. I mean, reflecting on the summer, Eric, how does that add to your disappointment in this season?
I mean, it adds a lot. There were times throughout the offseason where me and you were talking, and I was like, he could be on the first line, he could be on the second line. Turns out he's not on any line currently. So, yeah, it's disappointing. We had such high hopes for him. Like I said earlier, he actually changed my mind about him. I was like actually really excited to watch him play, and I'm still waiting.
Yep, we're still waiting. Again, not trying to bag on the guy too much here and, really just beat him up with our words because, again, we really wanted to see him succeed. As Eric just mentioned, we thought he could be on the first or second line at some point during the summer. But now that we're taking a look at, how he's played or if he's played at all through these first few games, we're just disappointed and hoping to see him back. But, Eric, if he is able to get healthy and return to the lines, what kind of impact do you think he can provide at this point? And do you feel like it's worth trying to get him back in the lines, or is it time to start dropping him towards the bottom six and looking for talent elsewhere?
I mean, if he's healthy and can get through a full game, I'd like to see him play on the bottom six. We got guys on there right now who are kind of disappointing, like Jimmy Vesey, like Ryan Reeves, that could be easily replaced by Vitali Kravtsov. I don't think he's a bad player whatsoever. If he's healthy and playing consistently, I think he could be a game changer for our bottom six. It's just getting him there that's going to be the problem.
Yep, and I completely agree. I think that he has the ability to make an impact, be a game changer, but he has to stay healthy. So we'll see how he heals from this upper body injury. Again, roughly out for a week. Hopefully it's a little less, could be a little more, but we'll see. Whenever he gets back, I pray to God that he doesn't just get instantly injured again.
He probably will.
I would really like to see him play a couple full games, and maybe that's what he needs. He's only played one full game without an injury. Maybe he just needs to play a few more games, stay healthy, ease into it, get comfortable in the season, and maybe he could start to play better. But
yeah, and plus, he is like 23, 24. I don't remember exactly how old he is, but like this is still his first time playing in the NHL in like 2 or something years.
Mm-hmm.
So there is an adjustment period like we always talk about with players back on the team, different players, different rink size, different coach. It's like a whole different style of play. Even if he is healthy, there is going to be an adjustment period as well.
Right. And that's exactly what I was trying to hit at, because I think that, maybe Gerard Gallant agrees or is making the point that he played well when he was on the ice, but he can't stay on the ice. And so I think, if you just wait for Vitali Kravtsov to get back to the ice, if he could stay extra healthy, play in multiple games, maybe he could start to look like the Vitali Kravtsov that we heard so much about throughout the offseason. And then maybe we can build on that, see if he can put together some solid performances. That's the hope here, but we'll give you any updates on his injury right here on Fireside Rangers. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this episode. Comment down below. What are your thoughts on Vitali Kravtsov? Was re-signing him a mistake? Are you hopeful that he's going to have a solid second portion of the season once he returns from the injury? Let us know in the comment section, and make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel and ring the bell so you don't miss an episode. We'll catch you all on the next one. Have a good one, and let's go Rangers.
Let's go Rangers.
He shoots. He's